Welcome to the Artist Academy podcast, the audio version of our Facebook Live series, Art Talk Tuesday. I'm your host, Andrea Earhart, and I am so excited that you're here to catch the weekly replay of my laid-back yet very inspiring conversations with other full-time professional artists. The purpose of this series is to show aspiring artists like you that it is completely possible to make a great career out of this art thing. And if you ever want to join us live and have your questions answered in real time by myself or featured guests, then just hop over to facebook.com/groups/Artist Academy every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'll see you there. This episode is sponsored by the Artist Academy Advanced Membership, a program for artists who want to up-level their art game by taking it from a hobby or a side hustle to a full-time art business. I've been a professional artist for over 5 years with paintings in several different countries and a client list that includes high-profile companies such as Bass Pro, O'Reilly's, Duck Commander, and many, many more. So I figured out what it takes to build an art business, and now my heart is set on teaching aspiring artists like you to do the same. Go to advancedmember.com, that's advancedmember.com to learn more. This week's episode features Arizona-based artist Andrew Lee. Andrew reached out not too long ago to talk about all things art and business since he too just started coaching aspiring artists. Yep, someone else is out there paving the way for the upcoming generation of amazing artists so they too can thrive without the hassle or guesswork we all had to go through. I think it's amazing what Andrew's doing because my mindset is very much abundance over scarcity, meaning there are plenty of art students out there for the both of us, and I realize that his strengths are very different than mine. Speaking of, did you know that Andrew has his own line of art products on Amazon? He has sold well over 1,000 products on Amazon so far, and we go into the details of how he did it in this episode. Let me know what you think of this week's Art Talk with Andrew Lee.
So if you just want to introduce yourself really quick for anybody that's not super familiar with you, and just kind of give us a little dose of Andrew, like how you got started in art, and then up into the point of like what was your tipping point that took you from hobby to professional artist. Like give us a little backstory.
Yeah, for sure. So the whole spiel, how this
Yeah.
rehearsed so well.
Okay.
So I'm 20, I'm 25 years old. I graduated with a degree in aerospace engineering, and then I quit. I didn't find it very enjoyable, wasn't fulfilling, or it just didn't meet my expectations. So then I decided to follow my passions as an artist and a teacher while I was fairly young, and I've never really went back. I started my art career when I was in my sophomore year of college, and the tipping point for me was just kind of like when friends started asking about my work. We throw, house parties, and my friends would, they would ask if I sold my work. And at the time with engineering, I just didn't have a lot of time to paint a lot. I made maybe like one per semester, but I still wanted my friends to get my art, so I started making copies, I made prints, and then I started selling to my friends and started doing local shows, and then it just kind of blew up from there as, you keep stepping and moving forward.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's like one commission leads to another, and then people talk, and then
Yeah, exactly.
And now you're here. Now you sell stuff on Amazon. So can I get into
so many
that
things.
really quick?
Yeah, for sure.
So I think that is just so cool, and I think a couple
Right.
other people think that as well. So how did you get into the Amazon thing? You mentioned.
Yeah, that's a really good question. So when I was teaching, and I'm not currently teaching right now. I'm working on doing some different things, but I still have my heart in education. I live in Arizona, and they don't, you hear about the Red for Ed thing, and there isn't a lot of teacher pay here. And I wanted to like support my family, when I got older. I'd want to have, the ability to do so financially.
Yeah.
So while I was teaching, I looked at different ways to make passive income, and one of the things I stumbled across was like Amazon. I ended up watching some YouTube videos of people doing it, and then I was so inspired by this like 22-year-old at the time, and she was making like literally $40,000 in revenue per month through Amazon. It's like, damn, like if she can do it, and I have a degree in aerospace engineering, I could probably do this,
Yeah.
right? So I
You're
found
right.
out, right? So I found this program that she was enrolled in, that like an online course that teaches you exactly what to do. It was in its like ninth or 10th version at the time. And then I made the decision to jump into it and then just never go back. And here we are.
Yeah. That's awesome. I remember when I was working for Bass Pro a lot and doing some murals, like it was really hard work all day, and I was like, how can I make some passive income? So I bought a
Right?
couple books off of on Audible that was
Mhm.
basically went through the process of how to sell on Amazon, and I was like, what
Yeah.
can I sell on Amazon? But you did it, so that and it's quite a process.
Yeah,
Like,
it kind of is.
yeah, yeah. So like, do you have like, do you have to go through like China to someone to make it? Is that
Mhm.
your, yeah.
Yeah, so they walk you through different methods. You can get them done through, overseas like China or India, or even get them done in the U.S. depending on the product. But personally, I went through Alibaba, and then you work with suppliers over there. You kind of like figure out what the market needs. Um, so when you think of like art supply company, you think I'm like selling paintbrushes and like acrylic paint and all these different like supplies that everyone uses, but they're like
Yeah.
these random niche things that aren't on Amazon right now, essentially, that you're kind of filling the niche and filling that gap to really better help people out.
Yeah.
Because there's like paints and canvases already out there by so many people. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, you work through Alibaba, work through different suppliers, you improve the product, make it your own, and then launch it. And if you did all the background work, then it should be a success.
Yeah. So what product do you sell exactly?
Yeah, so my very first product were these acrylic paint pens. I wish I had some with me. They're at home. But they write on like all surfaces. You know the markers that you used to write on like car windows and even like backpacks. You can decorate mugs with them.
Yeah.
So that was my first product. I sold out of my first 1,000, maybe about a year
Wow.
ago, and now we have three more. So it's like a version 2 of the paint pens. Actually, metallic acrylic paint, which I'm excited about.
Yeah.
With that, I went through like three iterations with my supplier because they're just way too thin for me to use.
Yeah.
So that was like applying my artist knowledge to it. And then the
Yeah.
last one is a kid's stencil kit, which I don't know, kind of ties into my love for kids and education into art too, which I'm super happy
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
And they're at Amazon right now. I just gotta launch them.
So cool. So cool. Yeah. It's like
Thank you.
instead of just selling paint, like
Right.
I would think of, you found other things. Ah, that's just like a
Yeah.
niche in a niche in a niche. I like it.
Hmm.
Okay. So
Exactly.
moving on. So what makes up your typical work day? How many hours do you spend painting? What do you do nowadays?
My work day. It kind of varies. So I'm an artist and I have like three, four other businesses going on. I'm trying to open up my own charter school too. That's why I stopped teaching. But I want to get all the business stuff going first so that I can just spend all my free time working on these different schools. So
Yeah.
um, now, my routine now, I wake up at 5:30. I'll take 30 minutes to take care of my mind with like a sort of morning ritual to make sure that I'm feeling good for the day. I will write out a gratitude list of like 10 things that I'm grateful for. And I usually text that to my mom. Now it's evolved to a gratitude group that I have with my friends. And I'm on day 398 without skipping a day.
Wow.
That's the first thing I do, right? It's
Yeah.
kind of like brushing your teeth now, and it's not as hard as it might sound anymore. So after that, now I spend the first 2 hours of my day painting. So around like 6 o'clock to 8 a.m., I'll paint for 2 hours. And then after that, I'll hit the gym for about an hour, and then I'm ready to, do whatever business work I need to do by like 9 a.m. And then the
Wow.
day kind of goes on from there to like 6 o'clock, and then kind of do whatever.
Yeah. So are you in bed by like 9 p.m. to get up at 5? I would be.
Right? I think to get it started, I started going to bed at like 10:30 to make sure I had to make sure I had my 7 or 8 hours. But
Yeah.
now that I kind of like automatically wake around like 5:30 or 6, it doesn't really matter anymore.
Wow. That's like one of my things I'm trying to get used to or trying to like be better about. I'm such a sleeper. So like, that just
Right.
sounds amazing though to get up before the sun's up and just
Mhm.
get it. I mean, and your
Get all
gratitude
your
practice.
painting done. Yeah.
Yes. And your gratitude practice, like so many of the bigwigs out there are doing that basically. Like so many
Yeah.
like really successful people do that.
Hmm.
And so that's so cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's just you find people who you want to be like, and you kind of emulate what they do. And I think, especially with teaching, I noticed it night and day, like how it would feel. If I didn't do the gratitude exercise, I noticed like I wouldn't be as kind, patient, or helpful to my kids, and I was able to really tackle all these different issues a lot better
Yeah.
when I was doing it.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay. So could you talk us through your painting process? Like, are there any methods or techniques that you picked up? I know you do a certain style. Could you tell us about that?
Yeah. Gosh, there's so much to talk about, you know.
Yeah.
I think creatively, as artists, kind of like musicians, how musicians create like an album of songs that have like a similar style and meaning behind it. Visual artists are the same way. When you create a series of works that have a meaning behind it and a similar style,
Mhm.
that's really, I think, how you can market your stuff for like thousands of dollars. As you grow your reputation, you have this collection, you
Mhm.
know. So first I'll kind of like have my series that I'm working on. I'll have that kind of pre-planned out. I might like sketch out and have like an overall view or idea of what I want to do. And then from there, it goes from the sketching process. I'll sketch it out on the canvas and then I work from back to front. Like for example, if I'm painting a mountain, and I start to like paint the sky around the mountain, you can totally tell that there's like a paint outline behind it, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why I work background to foreground, and I'll paint over the sky that I've already painted, and I put it on top. That way, it looks more realistic and natural.
Yeah.
Um,
For
that's kind
sure.
of, I guess, how I do it. And then I could talk more about the meanings if you like. But did that answer your
Yeah.
question?
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely.
Mhm.
Yeah. So you do a lot of I'm not sure what the technical term is, but like Asian art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So draws upon my, I guess, Chinese cultural heritage. Like being a
Yeah.
Chinese dude in Arizona, I don't feel like there's a lot of us, or even a lot of Chinese style art here. But
Yeah.
it's growing. So what? I think the thing that inspired me to do I have a 4 monk series, and if you look at my Instagram, it's Andrew Lee Artwork.
Okay.
It's like a series of Asian landscapes, and each one there are 4 monks, and they're like traversing these huge mountains that seem like almost insurmountable because of how big they are. And all these monks have are like the clothes on their back and the support of each other. And to me, it draws upon my experience in education. How much you can accomplish with education, the support of each other, your willpower, vision, determination, and perseverance, And then each of the paintings is named after a quality that I find kind of essential for the success of my students, like gratitude, courage, ambition, all these different things. And that's kind of what inspired me to make that.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah.
Thank you. And then the
Yeah.
next one is a Chinese zodiac series. There's 12
Okay.
of them, which kind of is perfect. And then it's just in a different color scheme. That way people can kind of relate more to it. Like, oh, I'm the year of the dog. That's me. And then I think that's what people really like. I feel like people tend to buy pieces when they see themselves or like loved ones in their pieces or something. It means more to them.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And like the astrology, no, astronomy signs.
Yeah,
People are
100%.
so into that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool. So what's the one thing you don't like to paint without?
One thing I don't like to paint without. That's such a big question. I mean, like my paintbrushes, I love listening to music and podcasts and audiobooks when I paint.
Same. That's
That's like,
mine. That's mine. You totally stole mine.
yeah, right?
Yeah.
It's like you can just learn so much from a bunch of successful people as you're painting. I don't
Yeah.
know. With education, I'm always about, learning forever. There's always something new to improve
Yeah.
on. Jesus. So
Definitely.
definitely that. And air conditioning.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This necessity before you can work, I guess.
Yeah, it's summer here in Arizona. It's like the worst.
Is it?
I gotta
Yeah.
be comfortable.
Yeah.
Interesting question. How about you?
What do you mean? Be
What
comfortable?
can't you? Yeah, no, what
Oh,
can't you paint without?
podcasts or audiobooks, all
Yeah,
like the whole
100%.
way. I get
Hmm.
so in my head I can't even really like listen to music anymore. Really,
Really?
I don't know the last time. Yeah, I just I can't focus on the lyrics. I'll get so in my head and so like just my mind is drifting, and I'm like, I need to, I need
Yeah.
to have like a book. I need to feel like I'm learning because I feel like it's just
Hmm.
so cool that we can listen to podcasts and books
Yeah.
and paint at the same time.
Right?
Like, no, like who else can do that in their work? Like, I
Hmm.
think we're so fortunate.
Definitely. It's one of the
Yeah.
perks of the jobs.
Yeah, for sure. So, are there any art lessons you've learned the hard way when it comes to just painting,
Gosh.
career teaching, anything that kind of comes to mind?
Man, I don't know. So many. I think the biggest takeaway is just definitely continue to network with other people who are more successful than you, learn from their mistakes, because paying for them yourself is can be very costly. Um,
Yes. Speaking of, after this, I want to talk to you about Facebook ads and how you
yeah.
target people because you've
Hmm.
been through it and I have not been through it yet.
Yeah,
So
100%.
something like that, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Cool. Um. Okay. Yeah. So like, so learning from mentors. Is there anything? Is there any kind of like mistake that you've made? You think like that? Like,
Yeah, for sure. Gosh. I think, part of it is learning from mistakes too. Just, I mean, the technique thing for painting, like, I don't know, painting the background first and the foreground is something that I kind of learned on my own in high
oh
school.
yeah,
That I don't know. I feel like someone should have taught me that, but I don't know, it's something I
yeah.
figured out for myself as I was messing up. And then business wise, I think I've like just wasted, hundreds of dollars on prints, printing them at like the wrong sizes
Oh
and just playing with sizes and then, printing out things at sizes I don't necessarily sell. That was a big thing. Um, and then, you talk to different artists, you kind of learn like what sells based on their perspective, what prices to set it at, all that stuff. And then art festivals too, Sometimes you go to the wrong shows that just don't have any traffic and you lose out on the booth fee. Maybe you don't make your money back at all. When
yeah.
sometimes that happens. So part of that is kind of like networking with the artists in your area to see like what shows are good, so you don't waste your time or your money doing those. Those I think are the big things so far that come to mind.
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely. Yeah, all big,
yeah,
all good things.
Facebook ads too, especially. Like if you're
Yeah.
just that's like it's kind of like gambling. You're putting money in hoping you expect some back, but I don't know. I think I lost $1,000 because there was like a couple of small errors that I didn't fix and look through.
Like
That
what?
like mentors
Tell
could have
me.
helped me out.
Yeah.
And I think personally for me, it was like my sale, my funnel, my click funnel. The website that I
Okay.
had going just wasn't. It didn't make it easy for people to like sign in and
Yeah.
get their email and all that stuff. So just
Okay.
making sure everything was good with that. But
Yeah.
you'll be good.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I actually, I went through your ClickFunnels, and you've
Hmm.
inspired me to finally finish mine. So I'm just now.
Yay!
I know I'm so excited. I haven't had one yet, but I'm like, okay. Just need to have.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, Andrew has one. I've got to have one. Yeah. So
Hmm.
yeah, we're definitely learning from each other on this kind of a thing too. Because like
Definitely.
you kind of started with the coaching thing right as I did. So we're kind of at the
Yeah,
same. We're kind of figuring things out. So
exactly. You gotta learn from
I'm an
someone.
open. Exactly. I'm an open book too. If I'm like, this is
Hmm.
working. Also, one thing I found that's working, that I'm actually just gonna send out an email blast tomorrow. One thing, like in Instagram stories, do you use Instagram stories at
Yeah,
all
for
or
sure.
quite a bit?
Swipe
One
up
thing is
feature.
just like, yeah, well, it's like now, like if you do a poll in it, like that
Hmm.
I've started to do, like, hey, would you be interested in this? And they say yes or no. It makes it so easy for them to click yes or no. And then when they click yes, I go and just send them a link. And like
No,
half the people reply at all. But I'm
just
like, why wasn't I doing this
right.
sooner?
Just straight up lead
Yeah.
city.
Yes, exactly. Right in your
Uh-huh.
DMs. Like, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Okay, cool.
genius.
Awesome. So, do you have a favorite past project or favorite past painting?
Mm. Yeah, I don't know why. I'm a huge fan of tigers. There's this one that I did, I think like 2014 or 2013, like 5 years ago. It was this orange tiger. If you scroll down on my Instagram at Andrew Lee Artwork, it's
Okay.
like somewhere down there. I don't know. I titled it Tiger Mom and gave it to my mom as a Mother's Day gift. But I just love the ferocity that it conveys, like all the emotion, and all the texture that's on the original that really make it pop out. And I love that one. I did
Cool.
another one that's red, and I like that one too.
Yeah. The red and blue one? Is that what you're talking
Yeah,
about?
uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm a big
That's
fan of cats, so
cats,
cats. So
cats.
like tigers, lions, all this
Same.
stuff.
Yeah, I kind of
Yeah.
discovered I was a cat person like this past year. Roommate got one, and
Oh,
I never liked pets, but this cat, love hanging out
yeah.
with them. Like play
Yeah.
fetch with a hair tie. Oh, some cats do that.
You should get a laser pointer. Game
All
over.
right, we'll do that.
Yeah, it's like how to make your cat exercise without actually moving.
Right?
It's great.
I can keep working while playing with the cat.
Exactly. What are your future art plans or goals? Do you have any? What are you working on right now?
I'm working on this dragon. So I'm working through the 12 Chinese zodiacs. And the
Yeah.
dragon is one of the animals. It's a huge 36 by 60 piece.
Mhm.
In addition, I was in California this past weekend, and to keep up with my art discipline, I kept painting at 5:30 while I was on vacation. So I finished with a little rat guy, and then I'm working on a little bunny rabbit, and the bunny rabbit's almost done. Year the
Cool.
rabbit, and then yeah, just right now I want to finish that out, and then I might do a series of I don't know, Chinese portraits, something like that maybe. Um, but I don't know. I want to like take this to the next level and just really make myself like a household name for like Chinese art, kind of like David Cho or Isao
Yeah.
Andrews, and just have what reach to like maybe 500,000 followers on Instagram.
Yeah.
Put
Yeah.
my stuff
That
in galleries around the world.
sounds like a plan to me. If you put
I'll
it
see you
out
there.
there. Yeah. Exactly.
We'll get there
Yeah.
together.
Exactly. Yeah, you just put it out there. I'm a big fan of just say it. Like and
Yeah,
I mean just put it out there and just it's crazy what happens if you just put in a
I
little I
know.
mean a lot of effort and a little
It's a
effort.
little bit of work every day.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Cool. So is there any advice that you would give artists who want to make art their full-time career but just don't know where to start? Like, where's a
Mhm.
good starting point? There's a lot of aspiring artists in this group,
Yeah.
who will watch this or listen to it on the podcast, and I think they're just kind of
Mhm.
stuck in where to start.
Yeah, for sure. So I have this, I guess this business called the Millennial Artist, and I teach aspiring artists how to do it. So I have like calls like this all the time.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest thing, kind of like how I started, is just those little small victories. You know, you work. I think mainly this started as a business by focusing on helping other people. You know, like when I was painting, I just didn't care about like how much money I made at the time. It was just about, hey, Andrew, like, can I like get a copy of this? Yeah, dude, like, let me hook you up. And I would just make prints and just give them or, sell them to my friends and just other people who, genuinely like your stuff and they want it, and just focusing on helping those people. And then, every sale that you get is a little motivator to keep pushing it and help more people and just grow and grow and grow. So honestly, that's how I would start.
Yeah.
Um, and then maybe have like a vision of where you want to go, like, 3 to 5 years to keep you motivated so that you're taking steps every single day. Um, and literally the secret to get ahead is to get started. No matter where you are, just start. You have everything you need to succeed. You just got to start, and then everything else will figure itself out.
Yeah, so true. Like I love those. Those are
Hmm.
three just great points. You want to talk a little bit more about your millennial artist
Yeah,
program
for
that you've
sure.
got going on?
I would love to.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just feel so blessed because I was born into the family that I had. They gave everything, they sacrificed everything so that I could do everything that I wanted. Become
Yeah.
a rocket scientist, sell my art, become a teacher because I want to. It's just the coolest thing, and I don't think not many. I guess a lot of people are born with this. So if I can be that person to help someone else get there, I'd love to do that. Just believe that everyone deserves success, and I want to be that person that helps out. So with my master's degree in education and my teaching background, I thought the best way to help other artists succeed at this level is just, and I could hop on the phone with them and try to talk them through everything that I've done, which would take like hundreds of hours.
Yeah.
Um, So instead, I created this full-blown online course. Currently, there's 14 different modules, and we walk you through, how to create your series. We're working with the gallery director to, really hone in and improve those lessons, which I think is the quickest way to start making money with art, which is how I got started. Like $2,000 in a single day at some other, if you go to the right ones, they're so good.
Like
And
what's
then,
the what's the right one? Wait, I think we
yeah,
all want to know how this happened.
join the course. um, the right ones, just ones with a lot of traffic, ones that kind of
Okay,
appeal
yeah.
to your demographic, things like
You
that.
said
And
right.
just exactly. And
Mhm.
you can figure that out.
Yeah.
But we walk you
For-
through the process that I kind of go through to find the best ones.
Yeah.
Then there's juried shows where like straight up like some artists make like $25,000 in a weekend, and it's crazy. They do four of these and call it good for the year. It just
What?
blows my mind. I know,
Yeah.
like I was talking to a lead, about not a lead, a potential client, telling them the meaning behind this painting, and then one credit card swipe, $6,000. What? This is unreal. Um, so we walk you through that, how to sell online. I have my stuff on Amazon because I don't like doing things that I don't like shipping prints. I find that annoying. So I send them out to Amazon and they just kind of take care of that for me once something sells.
How many do you have to
Um,
send to Amazon? Hold on, I'm gonna interrupt you real quick. How many do you
yeah.
have to send to Amazon for them to send out
Um,
for you? Or
it kind of depends on you. I think you could literally send out a couple, but I just kind of not
oh
worth the
really?
time. I think because like you have to pay for the shipping for it to get to Amazon, which is about like 20 to 40 bucks. So
Okay. So like
I
you
would,
send 100 prints
yeah,
or
I think
what?
100 would be good.
Okay.
You can also
Okay.
sell through Amazon and ship it yourself if you want to do that to kind of test out the waters. So we walk you through Amazon. We'll be getting into Etsy. We'll walk you through how to like create your own website, online store, and sell your canvas prints for like hundreds or thousands of bucks, as well as like the digital marketing aspect, product photos, all the keyword stuff, all this technology stuff that my engineering brain kind of helps out with.
Yeah.
Um, we dive into doing your own art workshops, and this whole course is super linear because I taught math. Everything builds on itself, and I like to keep it that way. So like, once you've kind of grown your reputation, you'll have some people who want to learn, your own art style. So you can host your own like paint and wine nights. And I have about 8 easels at my apartment, and I'll just do these pop-up shows every now and then. Um, and then we walk you through gallery showings, how to find the right galleries, how to talk to the gallery directors, and find the right ones that are right for you.
Yeah.
And then the last thing are large-scale commercial contracts, which I never thought I'd be doing, like
Yeah.
hotels, apartment complexes, and businesses, like they all have these generic stock Google images decorating the walls, and they're so ugly.
Yeah.
And they'd love to work with local artists to do to decorate their place, but most artists just don't have the capacity. There isn't the network for that. So we walk you through, all that, the invoicing process, how to find, those people who are looking for it. Um, and then and then we include four bonuses. One is an Instagram mastery course. I have a digital marketing agency and I grow Instagram accounts professionally. That's something that I've done. That's one of the businesses. We teach you how to hire to expand your art business because those art festivals are super fun. But after you do them for a year, like setting up is just so boring and kind of laborious and tiring. So instead of like setting up for 3 hours at 4 o'clock in the baking hot Arizona sun, I get there nice and late at like 7 o'clock. Booth's all set up. All the other artists are jealous, and I have a great time.
Yeah.
And then we teach you also how to like start your own Amazon art supply company because I think there's abundance, and I'm
Yeah.
not gonna take every product, so I show you how
Yeah.
to do it. Another great way to make passive income as an artist so that you can focus on doing what you love, making art
Yeah.
and making people happy.
Yeah,
And that's the course.
definitely. Yeah, and what we're doing. Like
Hmm.
you found success in all these avenues, and so I mean, you're not going into murals or something because that's you've never done that, but you've not
Yeah.
found success in
Hmm.
these things, and you're like, this is what I've done. Let me teach you. So I think it's
Yeah.
amazing. I think it's the
Thank
future of
you.
learning. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then we're always continuing to partner with, other artists out there to fill the holes because, like you said,
Like
I
me.
don't know
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Maybe there's someone who wants to do murals out there, and I need a muralist who has that experience. So I'd love to work
Yes.
with you about it.
Yeah.
And then, and then on the Millennial Artist website, www.millennialartist.com with two N's.
Okay.
and 2 L's.
Yeah.
You can find like a free training video that kind of shows you how I've done things step by step. I think you guys might enjoy that if you've liked kind of what I've talked about. And it's
Okay.
totally free.
I'm gonna post that right here in the comments, so that way when they're
Yeah,
watching
would
later,
appreciate
right
it.
now, www.millennial,
Artist.
Llennial, Millenial,
Yes.
artist.com. I'm just making sure.
Perfect. Yes.
Artist.com. You guys can check that. He has a free training. I've actually watched the first half of it and then I got distracted. But I'm gonna go watch the other half of it probably tonight. So,
Yay.
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, awesome. And then if you guys have any questions, my Instagram again is Andrew Lee Artwork. Feel free to reach out, shoot me a DM, and I'll answer it, as I have time.
Let's see. So www.andrewleeartwork.com.
Yeah. Instagram
Cool.
Instagram handle's the same. Just Andrew Lee
Okay.
Artwork.
Cool. I'm just gonna put that in there too, so that way they can find you. Awesome.
Perfect.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for coming on here and talking with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah,
Of course.
sure.
Anytime.
Yeah. All right. We'll talk to you later.
Definitely. See you, Andrea.
See ya.
This episode is sponsored by the Artist Academy Advanced Membership, a program for artists who want to up-level their art game by taking it from a hobby or a side hustle to a full-time art business. I've been a professional artist for over 5 years with paintings in several different countries and a client list that includes high-profile companies such as Bass Pro, O'Reilly's, Duck Commander, and many, many more. So I figured out what it takes to build an art business, and now my heart is set on teaching aspiring artists like you to do the same. Go to advancedmember.com, that's advancedmember.com to learn more. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. Also, if you ever want to join us live and have your questions answered in real time by myself or featured guests, then just hop on over to facebook.com/groups/Artist Academy every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I'll see you next week.